I'm here in Medjugorje and I'm with, what's your name?
Christy Doucette,
And where are you from?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. A lot of French descendants, no? Your name sounds very French.
My husband's family is French.
Is French?
Yes.
Like French the first time they came over, or like the ancestors?
They came down from Nova Scotia, Canada, his family.
Wow.
And his mother was Donovan, Irish.
Irish.
So
Whoa,
French
what a
and
combination,
Irish,
huh?
yes.
Uh-huh. And you always have been Catholic in your life?
Always.
Always. Never doubted?
Never.
Why?
Never doubted?
Yeah.
I think.
So many people doubt, get astray and come back?
No, never. Never. My husband and I have been knowing each other since I was 13 and he was 15. And his family was devout Catholic, went to church every weekend, every Sunday, every holy day of obligation. My family, not so much. So, and I have a small family, he had a large family. So I loved his family and going to church with them. And so we have been Catholic since we were born.
And that was a change of culture a bit, no? That you had this huge family suddenly. You went to church. Was that tough for you to adapt to that?
No, I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it. It was just 2 children in my family, my brother and I, and my husband has 6 siblings.
Whoa.
And I loved the big family. So we have 3 children.
You have 3 children?
And 6 grandkids.
And why a blessed family? And why did you come to Medjugorje? What made you come here?
It was divine intervention.
What happened?
Because we were supposed to go to the Holy Land, wanted to go to the Holy Land, but it didn't happen. And this trip opened up with our church group, and my husband didn't want to go. So when he said no, I said, well, okay, I guess I won't go. And my sister-in-law, the lady you just saw with me, her husband is her husband is my husband's brother. He just passed away about a year ago. And I knew she wanted to come. And I was talking about it at work one day, and one of the nurses that work with me said, well, why don't you just ask her to go with you? And I wouldn't have thought of that, but this nurse did, and it was just like, yes, that's a good idea. So I contacted her, and she was so excited. So we both came.
And how, if I may ask, how do you, because I lost my brother recently, how do you cope with the pain of the loss of a loved one?
This is, I think because I'm not as close to him as she was, or my husband. I mean, that was his brother. It was hard for the whole family, but she's the one that's suffering the most. Yeah.
And what did she take out of Medjugorje? Did she get some consolation?
I think she got some consolation, yes.
Wonderful.
I know I did. I know I came to be a better person and a better wife and a better mother and grandmother. And I feel like I'm taking something home that's going to help me do that.
Can you describe the process? What happened to you?
It was when we went to, where were we? We went to the little chapel in a little town away from
Mercy,
the
Divine Mercy Chapel?
Yes, to the Divine Mercy Chapel.
Okay.
And after that Mass, Father Miles Walsh was in the church, and I felt the need to do confession. And I had a really good confession with Father Miles. And that and Nancy and Patrick, their story just inspires me to go home and say the rosary every day with my husband.
Oh, you touched me.
And that is what I'm gonna do. That's my plan.
And your husband will pray with you?
Oh, he's so much more spiritual than I am. And oh yeah, he will pray.
He'll pray.
Yeah.
He'll get a new wife, no?
He'll be so, yes.
He'll get a new wife.
He'll get a new wife. He's gonna be so happy.
And by the rosary, why do you want to pray now?
because of Patrick and Nancy's story,
Yeah.
and to see the love they have, and just I think that families need
Yeah.
to pray together. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the rosary every day, but just to pray together.
Yeah. It's the most intimate thing I think that
Yes,
you can do as
yes.
a couple, no? All your needs.
Right. When we have family get-togethers with the whole family, my brother, my mother, my stepfather, all the grandkids, all our kids, we say the blessing, and it's more meaningful with the whole family there. And we hold hands, and we say the family prayer. My husband says it. He's so good at saying the family prayer. I wish I could recite it to you, for you, but I can't.
All right, it's beautiful.
He says it all the time when we're all together.
What is the secret of a good marriage? A lot of people, they struggle. What would you say?
A lot of people are struggling. I think never give up. And it's a sacrament. You have to treat it as something special. When you're getting married and you're preparing for a wedding, preparing for the marriage, it's all special for you then. It needs to stay special.
Yeah.
You can't just give up.
Yeah, it's the truth.
It's hard. It's work.
Yeah, it's two different persons with their goals,
Right.
their ego.
Yeah, and you need to pray. And
You do that. You did that before already, praying a lot, or?
we prayed a lot when we were teenagers. We went through this kind of holy time in our courtship when we were dating. And we've had our ups and downs with religion, going away, coming and getting stronger, and
Losing it a bit.
losing it a bit. But I think we are.
Why do you think you kept going, and why you're always coming back to the Catholic Church?
Because we're devoted Catholics. I believe in marriage and not divorce, and that's just my belief.
To fight for it. And you look joyful. You look happy. You smile.
Yeah.
And confession is very big here in Medjugorje. Is that tough for you to go to confession?
Confession, that's something that I had fallen away from. And just recently, since Father David came to our parish, has brought me back to confession. And my husband going to the Acts retreat. I don't know if you've heard of Acts.
It's the huge retreat center across the river.
It's, yes.
Yeah.
So confession has become a bigger part of my religious life. And my confession with Father Walsh was special.
Yeah. What are the effects? Somebody listening now, maybe he didn't go for a long time, scared. What would you tell? What was the effect for you, and why to go?
It just feels, my confession with Father Walsh was intimate. It was intimate, and it was about my husband and I, but it could be, you have to start small. You don't have to, just small steps. You can start small. Just go in and confess one thing, and then it'll open up your heart, and you'll go deeper into your confession abilities, and it's special.
And also, people look for their vocation here. What would you give as an advice to how to find the right partner in life for marriage?
Oh,
That's a difficult
that's
one.
a question. How to go about finding the right partner? Well, first of all, they would have to be religious. They would have to be preferably Catholic, but not necessarily. But they would have to believe in God, for sure, positively.
If not, you don't get through the struggles of life.
Right. Now we have a family member of ours is Catholic but married a Baptist.
Yeah.
And she's been coming to church with him because his dad died recently. So she's been coming to church with him, and now she's going to the RCIA and converting to Catholic.
Wow, how beautiful.
So yeah.
And what is for you the beauty of your faith? What is so beautiful about the Catholic faith?
I love the Catholic faith for our history, the ceremonial, but it's deep. It can be joyous, or it can be like just a deep spiritual feeling that you get. The history. I like the Catholic history.
And you would tell people, I see you have a personal relationship, you have a prayer life, no? And how can you experience God? There are tons of people out there that they have no relationship, and they would love to have this relationship, this peace, what you have in your heart. How can they gain that peace and joy you have?
Walk into a church.
Walk into
Walk into the church.
That's simple.
Kneel before the cross. Simple.
That's simple.
Simple.
Yeah. You do that often?
I go to church, yes, every Sunday. Every Sunday. And every holy day of obligation. If I weren't working still, I would probably go every day.
Why are you so attracted to the Holy Mass?
This visit this week in Medjugorje and going to church every day has been great.
Great.
I'm ready to retire, so I can go to church every day.
And what is it that gives you that urge now to go? Not only Sunday.
I don't know, it's hard to explain. Just the feeling that you get, that you're loved by Jesus, that you're forgiven, and that you have a father and a mother, Mary, that is taking care of you. And
what would you tell people? You know, there are tons of people out there, they really think God the Father is an angry old man with a white beard and he wants to judge.
He does not want to judge. He wants to love you and forgive you. He wants you to come to him. Jesus wants you to come to him.
It's up to us, no?
It
True
is.
love sets freedom of decision, no?
Right. It is true love. It's true love.
You have a favorite spot in Medjugorje? Like a place you like to know?
I think climbing the mountain, the
Apparition
Cross
Hill?
Mountain.
Cross Mountain, the tall one, the big one.
Yes.
Why that
And
one?
we did the Way of the Cross all the way. And a friend of mine that was here said that she was going to sacrifice her sins and the sins of her family as she was going up the hill. And that's what I did, thinking of my family. And it was pretty hard.
And you went a day, very cold, freezing.
Yes, it was cold.
And going up that mountain.
Yes, and I did it.
And what would you tell people at the end? Why should they come to Medjugorje one time? What would you advise now you go back and people will ask you, how was Medjugorje? And what will you tell them?
Before I came, people were asking me, what is Medjugorje? I had to explain what Medjugorje was. You haven't heard of Medjugorje? Yeah. It's the feeling of Mary, the Mother of God, drawing you in to love her Son, to be peaceful. She loves you, and she wants you to love her, and you to love her Son most of all. And I think that if you, for me, I'm Catholic, so I already know all this. But for people that aren't Catholic, I was expecting more. But Father told us not to expect anything. And I think that being that I am Catholic, the experience was awesome. But I think someone coming here to Medjugorje that's not Catholic or not practicing their faith, I think the experience would be even better for them.
More profound.
Yeah, more profound.
Did you believe in the story of Medjugorje? How was it straight away? Why?
I read the book Medjugorje, The Message.
From what's his name?
What's
the
his
famous
name?
guy who converted Protestants?
Yes, the Protestant.
Ryan.
He's a A reporter.
Yeah, exactly. A journalist.
Journalist.
Wayne something.
Think of his
doesn't matter.
name.
But we say the title that people can find it. That's
Medjugorje, the message.
You'll find it.
Yes.
So you read it? And
I read the book, yes.
And it touched your heart?
And it did. I mean, I think that I believed even before I read the book, just from hearing people talk about it in my church. But the book was great.
The book was great?
I've heard all the books are great about Medjugorje and all the stories. It is believable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that beautiful interview.
You're welcome.